Pasadena, California, the Big Ten champion Ohio State Buckeyes meet the champions of the Pacific 10, the Trojans of USC. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen, and a happy and healthy new year to everybody across the country and around the world.
There's no question it is going to be a great year, Dick, and we're glad that everyone out there is sharing this first day of it with us.
This is the rubber match in this series. It goes back 38 years. The Pac-10's won 19 times, the Big Ten 19 times. This is the most common rivalry. USC and Ohio State, they've each won 3 times. And to break the deadlock, well, the Buckeyes bring some beef.
Boy, they bring some big horses up front. They're going to ride the backs of a big offensive line today. Jim Lachey, All-American among them, and they will be making room for the best back in the country. And there he is stepping forward now, Keith Byers, and believe me, he'll open your eyes if you haven't seen him play.
Keith Byers at 41 is significant. He's 41 yards away from a Big Ten rushing record to break Archie Griffin's mark, and he can catch the ball as well.
A great receiver as well as a runner.
So Keith Byers, he's the headline performer. He led the nation in rushing, and he led the nation in scoring. Number 41 of Ohio State. And the USC Trojans, they have some All-Americans on defense.
Well, they certainly do. You match up when you put great linebacking against the running game. SC's front 7 is tough at the point of attack. They match up with 2 All-American linebackers, Dwayne Bickett, number 80, and number 52, Jack Del Rio. We'll keep our eyes on them as they try and stop Byers.
Well, they've had their eyes on Keith Byers for the last couple of weeks. That's been in the locker room. Wanted to win the Rose Bowl. They'll have to stop Byers, and very few in the Big Ten this year were successful at doing that. And, of course, SC counters with a 1,000-yard rusher of their own.
They have Freddie Crutcher, and they've been famous for the running game for years. They're going to try and get their people on the field and do some damage with their offense.
Crutcher, number 49, he doesn't have the speed nor the size of previous USC tailbacks, but he knows how to get into the end zone. Crutcher for USC, and Byers, the great runner for Ohio State. And of course, the pageantry and color of this magnificent day prior to kickoff, already the Grand Marshal and the Queen of this pageant have made their parade around the Rose Bowl, something that you remember fondly.
I remember it well. An exciting moment for me, Dick.
We'll kick it to the scarlet and gray of Ohio State, the Buckeyes in white, and the man who will return the kickoff is the All-American Byers, number 41. You just saw a scoring fest in Arizona, the Fiesta Bowl won by UCLA 39-37, and it was Byers in that game last year that returned to kick off for a touchdown. What a day in Southern California, here in the Arroyo Seco, Pasadena, with the San Gabriel Mountains offering their fantastic backdrop. The conditions could not be more perfect.
Dick, that football field is absolutely as pretty as any you would ever see. And for those of you who are wondering, no, that is not a painted green. That is green grass, and it's growing. It's a fast track. And both of these teams, we talked a great deal about the running game. The passing game may be equally important. We'll get into that as we get into this ball game, but there's weakness on both sides for these teams in the secondary.
Steve Jordan will kick it off for the Southern California Trojans. Byers, number 41, is deep, along with John Woolridge, 25, the other tailback, and it will go into the end zone for the touchback. So they keep it away from Byers to start the game. Now here comes Mike Tomczak and the Buckeye offense. In front of him will be a huge offensive line that features 3 all Big Ten performers. Loudermilk the center, Lachey the guard, and Kurowitz the tackle. All Big Ten. Zielinski and Maggs complete the front 5. Mike Lanise, all Big Ten wide receiver, the freshman Chris Carter, and the tight ends Ed Taggart. With Tomczak the quarterback, Byers and Barry Walker behind him. First down from the 20. Tomczak to throw on first down, and plenty of time over the middle. 36, the freshman Chris Carter from Middletown, Ohio. Well, Merlin, you hinted that that's the soft spot. Both teams have a lot of youth and inexperience on pass defense, and Tomczak takes advantage.
Tomczak looked at his tight end all the way back across the field, could not get him open, and looked downfield then to Chris Carter. Carter getting a lot of room, and SC's defensive backs give you extra room in there. And
Tomczak to throw again. To this side to Byers. And the big running back, look how tough he is to bring down. They still don't have him down, and have the USC defense there to finally get him stopped at the 45-yard line for a gain of 9 or 10. Let's check the Cardinal and gold defense of USC, featuring 2 All-American linebackers. Up front, it'll be Luft, Colorado, and Moore. Del Rio, 52 and All-American, and Bickett, the other outside linebacker, number 80 All-Americans. But Hope in the middle leads the team in tackles. Bigger's the other inside man. Jackson and Haynes at the corners, and Tyler and McDonald at safety. McDonald considered the best of the 4 deep backs. Second and short, Buckeyes at their 45. Byers first carry, and he has a huge hole. 45-40, he could go all the way. Keith Byers knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Exactly what they did not want to have happen. SC's defensive coach wanted to make Ohio State work their way down the field a little piece at a time. Instead, Byers pops through on a power play off the right tackle and explodes into the secondary. And you see him, he's been called a tank with speed, and you see it right there. Looking from ground level, you see that huge hole opened up. Karowitz coming in from the outside, doing a great job of blocking.
Tim McDonald saved the touchdown. This is Walker, the fullback, and he's to the 2-yard line. Down at the bottom of the pile as they dig free Sam Ano, 56, and Neil Hope, 54. Second and goal for the Buckeyes, trying to get on the board quickly. We played just a minute and a half of this 71st Rose Bowl game.
We've already seen some of their explosive weapons. Byers, that we talked a great deal about. We've seen Chris Carter, and we saw Tomczak throw the ball. So it's off and running.
They go with the 2 tight ends. Walker and Byers in the eye. Oops! Missing the count was the right tackle, Karowitz. Number 73, senior from Toledo, Ohio.
Both of these teams are so pumped up about being in this game that you're going to see some mistakes. You're going to see some errors, and that's a costly one. Down inside the 5, that's a costly one.
Dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense, still second down.
I'm sure what they were doing is going on the first count, and quite possibly there was a signal barked on the SC side. Defenses do that quite often. It sure got Karowitz offsides and cost him 5 yards there.
That's a lot of momentum, too. 282 pounds of right tackle. It's second and goal. Byers blasting inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. A good defensive charge by the Trojans, spearheaded by Ano, 56, and 52 Del Rio.
We've talked about strength on strength. The nation's #1 rusher, Keith Byers, he's going against a defense that probably defended against a run better than anything they did during this past year. They're number 8 in the country against rushing defense. Only one man with 100 yards against them during the year.
That was Gaston Green, and you folks just saw what he can do, the UCLA freshman, as he tore apart the Miami defense in the Fiesta Bowl. Well, Tomczak wants to be sure. He'll chat with Earl Bruce. When we return, it'll be the Buckeyes at the SC 4-yard line. 12:17 left in the quarter. That's a story, at least the preface of this Rose Bowl game, the strength of the Buckeye running game against the defense that is so difficult against the run for SC. And here's the challenge, third and goal at the 4. Byers and Walker behind Tomczak, 2 tight ends, and that's Carter in motion. He wants to throw. He's in trouble. And it's incomplete. So the Trojans have held and forced the field goal attempt. Brett Moore was the man who pressured Tomczak, and Jackson had coverage on the intended receiver.
Ed Taggart, the man that Tomczak wanted to go to in this situation, running the play action pass. The threat of the run, dropping back then to throw the pass, but no one open. Might note that Tomczak is healthy now. That leg broken in last spring practice, and in fact in the final game in spring practice, has hindered him throughout the year, but he is healthy now. We'll see him running today.
Rich Spangler, 20-yard field goal, and he kicks him straight away, and that one's good. Officially 21 yards. But Ted Tollner, the coach of the Trojans, applauds the defense after a 50-yard run by Byers. And first and goal for the Buckeyes. They have to settle for 3.
1985 Rose Bowl is brought to you by Hilton. When American business hits the road, American business stops at Hilton, America's business address. By your Toyota dealer and the all-new Corolla GTS with its scorching Sweet 16 valve engine. By exceptionally smooth Michelob. Where you're going, it's Michelob. And by the John Hancock Companies. John Hancock. We can help you here and now, not just hereafter.
12 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The Buckeyes, on a short field goal by Rich Spangler, have taken a 3-0 lead, and now SC to receive the ball for the first time. High end over end by Spangler, and that's going to be too deep for Albert Watts. He takes the touchback at the 20. By the way, the 50-yard run by Byers, certainly not a Rose Bowl record. Mel Anthony of the University of Michigan back in '65, 84 yards for the record. Tim Green brings on the SC offensive unit. Up front will be Cox at center. Briegel and Halleck are the guards, and Fitzpatrick and Rutgers an all Pac-10 tackle. The wide receivers are Norman, who has caught a pass in 22 consecutive games, and the speed Timmy Ware. 2 tight ends will be used, Cormier and Boyer. Green at quarterback, Pola the blocking back or fullback, and Crutcher the 1,000-yard runner. Crutcher on first down, and he is met smartly after a 1-yard gain as the defense of the Buckeyes, led by Fred Ritter, 90, and Chris Spielman, 36. Here is that defensive unit. Giuliani at the nose. Morrill and Crecelius complete the front 3. Lee, Johnson, Pepper Johnson, 98, leads the team in tackles. Spielman, a freshman, and Kummerow. Rogan and White are 2 freshmen at the corners. Hill and Gordon at safety. Second and a long 8. Crutcher again to the 27, 3 yards short of a first down. Crecelius, an academic All-American, 97, made the play.
Looking back at that lineup, 2 people we like to highlight. They both wear number 11. Green, the quarterback, not expected to play much this year, and he is Green. He's very volatile. Some days he has streaks that are hot, other days he falls apart. On the other side, Steve Hill, who's come in to replace Terry White, who was left at home. 11 is supposed to be lucky, but it may be unlucky for one of those gentlemen today.
Well, here's Green, 11, pitching for the first time, but Crutcher breaks a tackle inside for a first down to about the 34. Very nearly caught for a loss, but he turns it into a 7-yard gain as Darrell Lee, 95, who grew up right in the shadows of the campus in Columbus, Ohio, made the play.
Well, number 11, Green, looking outside, left-handed quarterback, drops it over the top. Crutcher gets a hold of it. He knows what to do with it. He gets tackled before he gets back to the line, but dives forward for the first down.
Grew up within walking distance of the Rose Bowl. Went to Blair High School, did Crutcher, here in Pasadena. Pola, 35, 40, and Kennedy Pola has what appears to be a first down at the 44-yard line. Kennedy Pola, born on November 22nd, 1963 in America, Samoa, and named after John Kennedy, assassinated on that birthday. Pola is 6'2" and 230.
Dick, they said when the nurse came in and to report on the birth of their son, she also told them about the death of Kennedy, and in honor of the slain president, he was named right on the spot.
It is a first down for the Trojans, so they have back-to-back first downs, trailing 3-0, 10-21 remaining in the first quarter.
And they've just helped Steve Hill, number 11, off the field. I don't know whether he was shaken up on that play or dumped on the ground, but he has come off to the sideline.
And that injury comes at a weak spot already with Terry White, the top deep back, left at home for disciplinary reasons. Now Hill injured, so 3. Jim Palmer has replaced Hill. Green off play action. Down the middle, Norman, first down at the Buckeye 37. Hank Norman, the junior from Long Beach Poly High School, has the first reception of the day, and that's 23 straight games that Norman has caught a pass.
Norman expected to be the big gun in the offensive show today if they go to the air. Right here, long strides, gets in the seam of the defense between the two defenders. Excellent job. Green is a left-handed quarterback. He drops here like a right-handed quarterback. Now watch, right at the end, he shifts over to the left side to throw. A lot of wasted motion in that drop.
First down, Crutcher hit hard as he crosses the 35-yard line. A short gain before Dave Morrill from Centerville, Ohio, the defensive right tackle, can make the stop. 3 yards for Crutcher. He played in this stadium 5 times, the Rose Bowl, did Crutcher in high school. His team never winning here. And there's the all-time list. What great runners for SC. White, Allen, Davis, Ricky Bell, O.J., Mike Garrett, Clarence Davis, and Crutcher 8th on that list, and he's a junior. Old Nicola this time behind Green in a passing set. Throwing open down the middle and incomplete to the tight end, Joe Cormier, junior, number 85. Sonny Gordon on the coverage for the Buckeyes.
SC will use what they call an H-back or a Z-back, and that is Cormier, number 85, coming in motion from the side, from the wing, even out of the backfield, trying to confuse the offense, but not difficult these days for defenses to pick that up. They see a great deal of that. Cormier, though, is an excellent athlete. Did a good job of getting open on that play, but Tim Green unable to reach him with the pass.
SC will go with 3 tight ends in this set. Boyer, Cormier, and 89 Eric McKee. That's Cormier in motion. Incomplete to Cormier. And so the Trojan drive has stalled. Let's see if they go for the long field goal. Yes, they will. Steve Jordan comes in, his longest ever, 53 yards. The number 42 on all the helmets of the SC players in memory of Ricky Bell. Tragically passed away at the age of 29. Finished second to Tony Dorsett for the Heisman back in the 70s. There's Bell, his wife, and his mother are here at the Rose Bowl today to cheer on the Trojans. It's a 51-yard chance by Jordan. It is good! So the all-time record place kicker at USC, Steve Jordan, the senior from San Francisco, nails a 51-yard attempt, and we have a tie game.
Jordan, the 3rd kicker in a row for SC from Reardon High School, behind his brother and Eric Kipp, and he nailed that one soccer style, dropping comfortably over the bar. And does that make the young man happy?
He's in the record book. That's the longest in Rose Bowl history, breaking Steve Horowitz's 48-yard field goal in 71.
One reason why Duracell batteries last so long is because we're always improving them. In fact, today's Duracell batteries will last up to 20% longer than the ones we made just 3 years ago. To do it any other way would be, well, the tail wagging the dog. Duracell, the copper top battery. When it comes to making them last longer, we never stop.
When you've got a long way to go, it's nice to go with a friend. The 1985 Toyota Standard Bed truck toughened up this year with more horsepower than ever, so you know it can carry its share of the load. The new Toyota Standard Bed truck at only $59.98.
Friend, you're worth twice the price.
The struggle for power.
You're true.
The desire for wealth.
Behringer's will be ours.
The men of Behringer's want it all in the 90-minute premiere of Behringer's Saturday.
Again, a Happy New Year from Pasadena. One of the things, whenever you meet Merlin Olsen, that impresses you immediately is the size of that big paw of his, and yet you were impressed earlier this week.
I shook hands with Keith Byers, and Byers' hands are bigger than mine.
That's hard to
believe. Now, his feet are size 14. Now, I got him by one size there, but his hands are bigger, and that's one of the reasons he's such a great receiver. Just that ball just disappears into those big palms of his.
Well, he has the hands and feet ready down at the goal line for Ohio State, as Jordan, who has just set a Rose Bowl record with a 51-yard field goal, will kick it off for Southern California. 8:52 remaining in the first period. It's to Woolridge at the 3. And he avoids disaster after the bobble and is able to get back to the 15-yard line.
This is a game of excitement, and the first excitement of the scoring kind for SC, of course, on that long kick from ground level. You watch that ball up, and look, just nips its way over the top. 51 yards. I think it could have been good from another 5 out, Dick. He put some foot into that one.
Well, Jordan's father, Bernard, who is Scottish-born and taught his sons how to play soccer, has to be proud of the way he delivered that soccer-style long boomer. It's tied at 3. Ball at the 15. Byers. At the 15, he gets a yard or two at best. 97. Brent Moore, a junior from San Marin High School up in the Bay Area, made the hit.
Artie Gigantino, the defensive coordinator for the SC Trojans, said we have to do 2 things to stop Byers. We've got to be tough right at the point of attack. A lot of people flying to the ball, but we can't over pursue because Byers is so good at cutting back against the grain.
Both wide receivers to the left. Lanise way out to the left, and Chris Carter, the freshman. Second and long. Fake to Byers. Wide open on this side is Carter, the freshman, out of bounds at the 24-yard line. That'll be close to a first down. Carter, from a very talented family, number 2. He's from Middletown, Ohio. That'll ring a bell for you long-standing Ohio State fans. That's where Jerry Lucas grew up and then went on to the Buckeye campus. And Carter's brother, Butch, elected to go to Indiana, where he didn't play football. He played basketball for Bobby Knight, and an All-American he was, and still starring in the NBA. Chris is only a freshman, 6'3" and 184.
The thing that impressed me in watching him in practice is he has tremendous body control, just great coordination and balance.
3rd and 1. Guess who was behind Tom Zach? There he is. Byers fighting for the first down at the 26. Keith Biggers, number 17, in on the play for the Trojans. So the Ohio State fans located down to our left at the far end of the field from where the play is currently, waving the pom-poms. That great Ohio State band serenading this huge crowd in Pasadena as Tom Zach has them out of the huddle. Woolridge in the game, and he has speed and blasts all the way to the 40-yard line. First down. Woolridge, a junior from Akron. 17 yards for him on his initial Rose Bowl carry.
Looking back from the end zone, you'll have a chance to feel the explosiveness of that play. Number 25, John Woolridge, backs up Byers at that tailback spot. And believe it or not, Dick, he has a cracked vertebrae, and he's going to have surgery after this season is over. Actually, a disc problem, and they'll go in and fix him after this season is over.
He's rushed for 613 yards this year, a 5.8 average. Gets the call again for short yardage to the 45-yard line. Dwayne Bickett from nearby Glendale, California, an All-American linebacker, led the team in tackles behind the line of scrimmage, 9, and had 6 sacks this year. Made the tackle for Southern California. Woolridge comes out after a couple of carries, and Byers is back in. Tied at 3, midway through the first quarter in Pasadena. What a game in the Fiesta. UCLA 39, Miami 37. Tom Zach a lot of time. Now he's flushed out and throws the ball away. Mike Lanise was the nearest Buckeye as pressure coming from Bickett.
Bickett very quick and agile in on top of quarterback. See him looking to the sideline now. The Ohio Buckeyes send their plays in from the sideline, usually with the wide receivers. Glenn Mason, their offensive coordinator. Oh, my, what a sight. Oh, isn't that beautiful?
That's why the folks, and I can speak personally, that grew up in the Midwest, dream about their team coming to the Rose Bowl and somehow managing to make the trip themselves. The parade, the game, one of the great days in America. Third down and long. Tomczak in a crowd. Number 54, Neil Hope has the ball, and then he fumbles.
I think he lateraled that ball. Neil Hope, elected as the team's most valuable player and most inspirational player in this season. That's the first time ever for an SC player to have both of those honors in a single season. And in spite of the All-American honors by 2 outside linebackers, you see Hope right at the top of your screen, just saw his feet there. Watch him coming back now. That ball badly thrown by Tomczak. That ball came out of his hand, didn't go anywhere near where he wanted it to go. I think this was a lateral, Dick. We're going to watch the end of that play now. But I believe that Hope tried to lateral that football right at the end. I don't think it was a fumble.
SC takes over the Buckeye 45-yard line, and they come out with a reverse to Jimmy Ware, and he has blockers. 45-40, and what a block at the 33-yard line. Dave Morrill made a good defensive play. When that set up, they had 4 SC blockers on 2 white jerseys, and didn't get more. It looked as if that might be a touchdown.
One of the things that Ted Tollner mentioned to us when we talked to him earlier in the week, he said, we're going to have to throw some tricks at Ohio State. He said, we don't have enough offensive firepower to stay with the basics of the game. There's one of the tricks, and it was successful in its first outing.
That was Ryan Knight, the freshman tailback, handing off to Ware on the reverse, and he picks up 12 yards and a first down at the 33. Crutcher back in the game. And he's down to the 29-yard line. Pepper Johnson. Thomas Johnson from Detroit, Michigan. Ask him how he got his nickname Pepper. And number 98, the All-Big Ten linebacker for the Buckeyes, said, well, when I was a kid, they made fun of me because I made a mistake. I was eating cereal and I put pepper on it, and it's stuck ever since. He's made a few back knees during the course of this year as he led the team in tackles.
You saw him getting the defensive signals from Bob Tucker, the defensive coordinator on the sideline, and making sure that everyone got lined up in the right defense.
Second down along 5. Green to Crutcher. SC running left and near a first down. Morrill again made the defensive play for the Buckeyes.
Crecelius on the left side, a little more active than Morrill, and they've gone over there quickly a number of times, trying to run that power off tackle. Crutcher is not a blazing burner in terms of speed, but has learned to adjust to the blocking and to pick his holes. Vision so important for a tailback, especially when he lines up as deep as SC tailbacks line up. Look how far back from the center he is.
He's a good 8 yards back. It's 3rd and 1. It's Cormier in motion, and Crutcher goes right and has blockers. He has a first down at the Ohio State 16. Jim Palmer made the tackle. Kennedy Pola, 37 in front of Crutcher to throw a lead block.
There's nothing sophisticated about the basic SC offense. They blast the ball up the middle. They power the ball off tackle, and then they'll sweep the ball with a little toss right here. This is the toss play outside. The same play that's been run for years by this great Trojan offense. And right here, Crutcher does the job well enough to pick up a big first down on the 16-yard line.
It's tied at 3, 4:20 left in the first quarter. The Trojans on the drive. Here's Pola, the fullback. Little misdirection that certainly did not confuse the Buckeye defense. Chris Spielman from Massillon, Ohio. That mecca of football talent. Earl Bruce found him there, and now he's a starter for him with Larry Kolick leaving the team at the end of the year. Spielman, familiar face. He's one of those Wheaties cover boys on the Wheaties boxes.
He had a frustrating freshman year, had ankle trouble. Both ankles sprained during the season, but he's healthy after the layoff, and he is an exceptional player.
2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Pass situation, but they go to run to Pola, and the big fullback powers inside the 10. He is 6'2" and 230.
SC doing a good job of recruiting among the Samoan population here, and they do make great fullbacks, strong and totally without fear. Pola just stuck his nose upfield and said, pull me down. Come on, come and get it.
If that name is familiar to those of you in the East, yes, his brother Al is a linebacker at Penn State. Third and a long 3. To Crutcher. A flag is down, and so is Crutcher short of the first down. Sonny Gordon came up from a safety spot to make the play.
Toller with the sun directly in his eyes. You see that's his ready list in front of him. He's using it to shield his eyes, but he has listed the plays by down and distance that he wants to run today.
Penalty flag apparently against the Buckeyes. That'll please Tollner. Gives USC a first down at the 5.
Offside in the defense. First down.
The officials, a mixed crew of Pac-10 and Big Ten officials. The referee, Springer, is from the Pacific 10 Conference, and then they alternate as you go down the list, Pac-10, Big Ten. First and goal for SC, trying to break the 3-all tie. Crutcher. Oh, is he met. Solid hit by Anthony Giuliani, number 59. Talk about the fireplug build. He's around 5'11" and 248, senior from Westerville, Ohio.
You've got to have great inside-out pursuit to shut down that kind of play. But again, you've got to be careful that you don't over-pursue. If you do over-pursue, Crutcher will cut back against the grain. Giuliani, very important in that way because he has to kind of maintain position with that back as he moves to the outside.
Green has a man open. Touchdown. Times through the air all year, strikes in the first quarter of the Rose Bowl. Green to Cormier.
Look at the Jim Green, boy, he is pumped up. And Cormier from that Z-back position or H-back position, trying to cover him with Gordon the Rover. They couldn't hang on to it. Comes down with a touchdown.
Jordan's try for point is good.
Joe Cormier coming from a wing position now, in motion. Now one of the defensive backs moving out. He sees number 7, Sonny Gordon, and he got bumped into really by one of his own men. One of the outside defenders coming back inside. Little roll by Green. Again, the left-handed toss. No chance to defend on the play.
And that makes the head coach of the Trojans, Ted Tollner, more than pleased. The Trojans have the lead for the first time.
Boy, it's great to be on vacation.
Yeah, and we never go on vacation without Hertz.
I wouldn't risk my vacation with an unreliable rental-car company.
And Hertz affordable weekly rates save me money.
But people say Hertz is more reliable.
But now, Hertz costs less money.
Arnie, more reliable.
Less money.
Arnold, more reliable.
Less money.
Hertz Affordable Florida, only $79 a week. Now the rent-a-car company that gives you more is less.
Less money.
Boy, they let anybody in this place. These guys lighten up.
That's me, in front on the left. Some things change. Some things don't. Like my brokerage firm all these years, E.F. Hutton. Today they've got zero-coupon municipal bonds. They grow at a fixed rate, so you know exactly what you'll get when you need it. Tax-free. They call them zero coupons. But it's the same sound advice Hutton has always given me and my family. And while some things change, some things don't.
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. They've gone eye to eye on the grass of Wimbledon, the red clay of Paris, the hard surface of the U.S. Open. Now for those special few, there is a new challenge to conquer. The Challenge of Champions. Just the beginning of January's Champions on NBC Sports.
The two most frequent visitors since World War II to the Rose Bowl. Ohio State trying to even its record at 6 apiece, and Southern California, more than any other team in the nation, has been here on this January 1st Classic, 17-6 for SC. In fact, they've often considered this their second home when recruiting young athletes in this area. But neither team has been here for 5 years, so it's a new experience for everyone on the field today. Woolridge will not run it out. Touchback at the 20-yard line. Well, the time of possession with Neil Hope's interception leading to a 45-yard drive in 8 plays. Green to Cormier for the touchdown. USC's had the ball for over 10 minutes, and Ohio State for just over a couple of minutes of this first quarter. Here's the 6'6" touchdown maker, Cormier.
He's got to feel very good. That whole SC sideline, at least at thus far in the game, they have had things their way, Dick.
Now Byers going to try to change that, but he draws a crowd again, and it's taking 3 or 4 tacklers to bring him down, but all of them seem to be right there at the point of attack.
Working in behind that huge offensive line, and we mentioned them earlier. They're about as big as any line you'd ever bump up against. Look at the size of these offensive linemen. For Ohio State, the average 6'5" and 269. And SC is even bigger, if you can believe that, in their offensive line, 6'6" and 265.
We'll see the Steelers in Miami on Sunday in the Orange Bowl. Neither team will have those numbers.
Neither team could match that, Nick.
Roman Bates, number 28 in the game for the first time, running back for Ohio State. But it's Byers with a call, and again they surround him. 92 Colorado on top, but he had plenty of help underneath from Neil Hope.
The stress for the SC defense this week has been quickness. Get those tailbacks before they can really get started. And so far they're doing a good job of getting penetration and getting a hand on or an arm on or a shoulder on those big tailbacks before they can get their speed and momentum up.
Figures to be a pass situation for the Buckeyes. Tom Zach completed over 58% of his throws this year, 9 of them for touchdowns. Lanise in motion. And the hit made at the 27-yard line is going to be short of a first down. Mike Lanise, academic All-American from Mayfield, Ohio, is drilled by Rex Moore and Tommy Haynes, and the punting team comes on for Ohio State, and that's a story in this game as well. Tom Tupa, number 19 for the Buckeyes, a freshman from Brecksville, Ohio. He and the Buckeyes had the best net putting average in the nation this year. 44 yards a kick net. He averaged 47 a kick. So the combination of a strong young leg, Tupa, and great Ohio State coverage as the first quarter comes to an end. The score here in the 71st renewal of the Rose Bowl Classic. SC 10, Ohio State 3.
The essence of hitting. George Brett.
Some guys say it's the rhythm, reading the pitch. For me, it's a feeling that says, I'm going downtown.
The essence of shaving.
This is Atra by Gillette. It pivots so the twin blades stay on your beard longer. But what Atra is all about is the feeling that says you just got Gillette's best shave.
Gillette, the essence of shaving.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way, you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
When they put a heavy load on your shoulders, there's nothing like having a friend you can count on. The new Toyota electronically fuel-injected 1-ton truck. It'll carry over 2,500 pounds. And with an optional towing package, you can pull up to 5,000 pounds. The Toyota 1-ton truck.
Thanks, old buddy.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Welcome to the second quarter in Pasadena. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. Southern California leading Ohio State 10-3, and Tom Tupa, the freshman All-Big Ten punter for the Buckeyes, will kick for the first time. Tommy Haynes, a Buckeye fan himself as a kid. Jack Tatum, his idol, will return for USC.
He's back there to return because Darrell Hopper, who did that most of the season, injured with a knee injury in the final game against Notre Dame, and that hurt not only the punt returns but also the secondary for the Trojans.
You saw Tupa lick his fingers like a quarterback. He is a backup quarterback. Did not throw from punt formation this year, but sometimes coaches save surprises for the bowl games. Not this time. He drills it.
Not a good kick, though. A line driver.
Haynes at the 28-30 and steps out of bounds. They'll mark it around the 37-yard line, and we have a timeout just into the second quarter in Pasadena. 10-3 USC. In 1969, the Rose Bowl game featured an incredible run, 80 yards by the magnificent Trojan tailback O.J. Simpson. It was the second quarter. Kurt Gowdy made the call, and we're going to share that moment with you when we can.
First down now for Southern Cal on their 20. They're ahead 3-0. Zoggy pitching to Simpson. 25, 30. Look out. He runs 109-4. They won't get him. He's being convoyed in. 80 yards for O.J. Simpson.
A few months ago, something new burst on the American scene. The Toyota Camry. Experts were impressed.
Peppy performance with fuel economy. U.S. News and World Report.
And it's got room.
Technical tidbits and thoughtful touches. Car and driver.
And it's got room.
A landmark vehicle. The Christian Science Monitor.
The 1985 Family Camry from Toyota. Boy, has it got room.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
At Wang, we make computers that not only enhance individual performance, but work in harmony with one another and compatibly with our competitors to bring out the brilliance in all. Wang, we put people in front of computers.
First quarter statistics. Ohio State with that long 50-yard run by Byers out rushing USC and out passing the Trojans, but trailing 10-3, and Green on first down from the 37, throwing long for Ware. Actually cutting in front of Ware was Hank Norman. He was closer to the ball. Ware, the deep man, was open.
Sonny Gordon, the rover, back in the middle of that rosy country back there, trying to work one-on-one. This is not something that the Ohio State defenders have done well during this season, but Gordon on that play doing a very fine job of shadowing Norman, who is a very fine receiver.
I don't know who Green was throwing for. It's closer to Norman, but there you see Ware coming in the picture, and
I think that'll happen quite a bit today. Green is not the most accurate of passers today.
It's 2nd and 10 from the SC 37. Crutcher toppled at the 39 after a gain of just a couple. Dave Morrow makes another tackle for Ohio State. We pause briefly for station identification. Happy New Year from Pasadena on the NBC television network.
This is WNBC TV, Channel 4.
Dick Enberg, Merlin Olsen.
Yes, I think it is.
Write that down for me so I can remember. 14-18 remaining in the second quarter. Ohio State trailing USC 10-3. A Neil Hope interception led to a Trojan drive for the only touchdown. That one scored on a pass from Green to Cormier, and Green to throw. Down the middle has a man. Ware. Timmy Ware, first down at the 42 of Ohio State. Jim Palmer made the tackle.
Timmy Green swinging back, and as badly thrown as that earlier pass was, this one was right on target. Zipped it down the middle. Chance for you to see it at home. Ground level. Throwing right almost into your lap. Timmy Ware with excellent speed, good hands, cutting across to pick it up.
Ware, a senior from Compton Centennial High School. And that was a bullet by Green. We saw him practice the other day, and he didn't throw a spiral the whole afternoon. The toss to Crutcher. Not quite able to turn the corner. Good lateral action defensively by Ohio State. Sonny Gordon made the tackle. Well, one man who didn't make it to the Rose Bowl as a player in the Pac-10 was Oregon's great running back Bobby Moore, but he's here today, Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad is down on the sidelines, and apparently we have a little problem with communications, but we'll visit with him shortly. 2nd and 5, USC. Green. Now he's scrambling to the 36-yard line. Looked as if he had a screen set up, Merlin, over on the right side, but couldn't find the man to throw it to him. Picks up a yard as Perselius made the defensive play.
Worrell squaring off with one of the Trojan offensive linemen. Emotions pumping a little bit out on that field. Dick, it was interesting to me the way these two teams were prepared. Ohio State kind of easy in their practices, didn't wear full gear. SC really popping. It doesn't appear to have had a great deal of impact on the style of this game so far.
3rd down and call it 5. Green overshoots his man. He had Norman open over the center, but too tall for his favorite target, who led USC in receptions with 38. A flag is down. Now we understand that the former Oregon star Ahmad Rashad is with us.
All right. I finally made it here. Where'd you get that picture? I thought I destroyed all of those.
You were 9-9 with the hair and 9-5 without it, I understand.
I had to get the haircut so I could play wide receiver. The intensity level down here is incredible.
Ahmad,
go ahead.
Ahmad, were those high tops you were wearing in that picture?
No, they weren't. But, you know, I can't believe the size of some of these guys. When I was in school, none of these guys were half this big. I see why now that I got out of football. These guys are getting extremely too big.
Well, I know that you're thrilled just to be down on that Rose Bowl turf. You were excited 4 hours before the game today.
I had fun down here because, you know, the key to a big game like this, the memories you take on with you are the ones you get in the warm-ups. Because in the warm-ups, you can run as fast as you want to run. You can jump higher than you've ever jumped. And then the reality sets in when the game starts. But those are the memories you take on with you for life.
Well, Ahmad will be with us. He'll have interviews with the Stars after the game. A penalty marked against USC has forced them back to 3rd and 22. That takes them out of field goal range.
Face mask called it.
Green.
There's a duck.
4th string defensive tackle of the Buckeyes was the closest to that pass. And the punting team comes on for USC. That means Troy Richardson, number 99. He averaged 39 yards a kick. And Troy named because his dad is a big USC fan. That Troy seems to fit quite right. He said, I never had a chance. If I was going to go to college, I was going to go to Southern California. Mike Lanise is back at the Buckeye 15.
Late drop by 2 extra defenders. Good kick.
It is a good kick. And USC grounds it at
the 3-yard line. Roy Richardson doing his imitation of a skywalk, a moonwalk on that one. Kicked perfectly downfield. SC had people in position, and look how quickly they get on top of that ball to down it.
45, Paul Green made the play. Timeout with 11:59 remaining in the first half.
You don't have to be a wizard to know that the Toyota Tercel is one of the surest ways to get from one place to another with more room inside than any other subcompact.
I'm not afraid.
The 1985 front-wheel drive Tercel, Toyota's lowest priced car. It's got what it takes to get you where you want to go, even if it's just somewhere over the rainbow.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Plug in a cartridge, move a mouse, and paint a picture on a computer. But don't settle for black and white when you can paint in living, sparkling color. Anything in color. The Towers of Oz, the Treasures of Atlantis, a geology report, an annual report, a people report. The computer is the IBM PC Junior. The program, the new PC Junior Color Paint. See them both at a store near you and draw your own conclusion.
Dick, as you look out into this crowd, I know there are probably a lot of people here who've been saving all year for this opportunity. You did your graduate work at Indiana. Did you have dreams of coming out here as an undergraduate?
But those years at Indiana, all you dreamt about was the start of the basketball season. But it's true. Many people have saved throughout the year. You root for your team, and, you know, some way as a student or as a fan, you'll find your way to Pasadena. There are thousands here who have made the trip, and I know many watching out across the nation today that have been here in Pasadena to recall what a great day this is, starting with the parade in the morning. Keith Byers wants to please those Buckeye fans. He has a 50-yard gain, but since then, he has drawn nothing but short yardage and a lot of Cardinal uniforms.
One of the most important matchups on that line of scrimmage, and you have to win down on the line of scrimmage. Colorado 92 against 63. Kurt Loudermilk. Loudermilk sliding to the outside. There they are. You see their positions right in the middle of that line. Loudermilk on Colorado. They'll be going tooth and nail all day today.
From his own end zone, Tom Zach. Plenty of time. Now he throws long for Carter. Broken up at the last moment by Tim McDonald, number 6.
Tremendous concern on the part of the SC coaching staff for the results if they have to get into a passing contest. They're concerned about their coverage people. Didn't have to be concerned on that play. Tim McDonald staying one-on-one with Mike Lanise, and he did a good job of timing his jump to knock that pass away.
McDonald led the Trojans in interceptions with 4. Earl Bruce, in his 6th year with the Buckeyes, graduated from Ohio State in '53, was a football player but injured as a freshman, and Woody Hayes wouldn't let him quit school. He said, "You stay here and get your degree. We'll find a way to work this thing out." Of course, Bruce now ultimately the replacement for the great Woody Hayes, head coach with the Buckeyes. On 3rd down, Byers to the 10, but he does not get the first down. And again, gang tackling with Rex Moore, a freshman, number 35, leading the charge.
Both teams substituting their people freely. They want to keep fresh bodies on the field. And you see one reason for SC's eagerness to do that. Moore, who's gone in at a linebacking position, and another freshman, a great freshman linebacker on each side. Spielman you saw earlier for Ohio State. And Moore in there on that play, but a lot of Trojans in on that tackle.
10 men on the line of scrimmage for USC. One man back, Tommy Haynes at the 45-yard line. Tupou will punt from inside his end zone. Short again.
Not a good kick.
Haynes up to the Buckeye 45 and down at the 42. So Tupou, highly heralded with the best net punting average in the nation, actually outkicked by Troy Richardson so far.
Well, both coaches were concerned about that matchup, expecting it to go to Tupou. Has not done that so far.
Timeout. 10:22 remaining in the first half in Pasadena.
Ambition. It's the fuel that drives American business. Ambition. It's the energy to go the distance. Ambition. It's the will to win. Ambition. It's the force that makes Hilton America's business address.
Dinner X versus Head & Shoulders.
On this side, I can feel a tingling sensation, and this side, there's not much happening.
Look what you used.
Denerex.
Unlike Head & Shoulders, Denerex adds an extra anti-itch medicine and conditioner.
Goodbye, Head & Shoulders. Hello, Denerex.
Bill Evans can't breathe. Would you try Dristan long-lasting nasal spray?
I'll try anything.
Can you breathe now?
Yeah, I think so.
Prove it. Prove it to yourself. Dristan goes to work in seconds, lasts all day.
My roommate claims my presence during overtime games may be hazardous to her health. She exaggerates. I've matured. But being an ex-cheerleader, I've still got a lot of that old razzmatazz.
This season, come home to college basketball on NBC.
A bit after 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Southern California. A beautiful day and lots of lovely faces at the Rose Bowl. USC leads Ohio State 10-3, 10:22 remaining in the second quarter. First down after the punt, and Crutcher with a call. Spielman trailing the play, 36, made the tackle at the 39-yard line. Next, the big and bright bull from Miami, the Orange Bowl, and it may well decide who is number one. I guess that still is in doubt, as you've heard in the poll taken by NBC. There are some members who will vote on the AP panel that would be influenced by a big Oklahoma win and would vote for them over BYU. Some say it's all locked up for the Cougars of BYU, but at least in some minds that carries considerable significance tonight. That game with Washington and Oklahoma. Everyone's forgetting Washington's in that picture too. Crutcher, not much at all, a yard at best.
I know that Bob Costas will be filling us in, bringing us up to date on exactly what's happening when we get back there at halftime. He's got his hands full back there today. All this football action.
Well, they lost him for 22 minutes. They couldn't find him under all those balloons, I understand. The 39-yard line. USC in a pass situation. Third down and 6. Cormier to the right. Way out to the left are both Norman and Ware. See if the Buckeyes bring some pressure. Ware finds his man. One of the tight ends, I believe it was Boyer. And that appears to be enough for a first down.
Jimmy Green did a good job of maintaining his composure back there on that particular play. Ran, picked up a little extra time before he finally found the man he wanted. Zipped it in.
Boyer, 86, a senior from Huntington Beach, caught only 13 passes all season.
You see Timmy avoiding Kummerow right there. Eric Kummerow, number 14. But there's the seam in the zone. 3 defenders there, but none of them on time.
So Green's come up with some clutch third down throws for USC, and the drive continues. This one to Cormier, much like the one that scored the touchdown, to the 24-yard line, a gain of 7.
Well, it's certainly not pretty, but it is effective, and that's we'll take our hat off to number 11, Timmy Green. He's had that kind of season. He's had some real problems in a couple of games hanging on to the football. Turnovers have been a real nemesis. When this SC team has had problems, it's been because they could not hang on to the ball. But Green today certainly doing an excellent job. 6 for 10, 63 yards. He's got the touchdown, and he has not been intercepted.
2nd and 3.
Oh, there it is.
Well, Merlin, you talked about no mistakes, and there it is, the mistake on the handoff. And coming up with the football is Chris Spielman for Ohio State. Only 18 mistakes, but when they lost, especially in the last 2 to UCLA and Notre Dame, 11 mistakes in just those 2 games, and there's the first turnover.
Well, and that's something you shouldn't make mistakes in. That little handoff just did not get the ball comfortably to the carrier. Reverse.
Lanise on the reverse for the Buckeyes. He's got blockers 40. A flag is down as Lanise is in USC territory. But there may have been a clip on the Buckeyes.
Well, and you saw Mike Lanise bounce up off the ground, and he looked back and saw a yellow flag on the ground. Out of that wing position. Now, Lanise was converted from a tailback to that wide receiving position, and he still runs like a tailback. He scored twice on that little inside reverse. There you see the official. They're going to bring it back and march off a penalty against the Trojans.
That nullifies a 21-yard game. Is Carter, number 2. Let's see if he was involved in that penalty.
Carter working on Tommy Haynes right there.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, maybe it was later. We didn't see the end of the play. It might have happened after the fact.
Against the offense, 15 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
Well, that amounts to a 36-yard penalty. 21 they didn't get, and 15 they do.
There's Lanise coming up off the ground. That's the reaction we talked about. He knew the minute he saw that flag on the ground that they were going to march it off.
Actually, from the spot of the foul, it's a 12-yard penalty back to the 21-yard line. First and long, Tom Zach. Almost intercepted. 4 Trojans surrounding the intended receiver, Chris Carter, and Tom Zach was hit just as he threw the football.
That will not make Tom Zach very popular with the coaching staff, throwing that one right into the middle of a whole nest of Trojan defenders, and he's very lucky it didn't get carried back as an interception. Tom Zach under pressure. They're getting excellent pressure on him on that play. It's Del Rio blitzing from the outside. You see Bob Maggs protecting there, and one of the, who is that's 80, Pickett, that's the other linebacker. Both linebackers blitzing on that play.
2nd and 22. To the screen to Byers. 20, cutting back. Look at the moves of this big man. And what a play! Talk about a mismatch, and McDonald comes up and rips Byers down.
Dick, that's a classic way to take down the big back. You get them running east and west instead of north and south. Byers running across the field. McDonald able to use his momentum coming upfield to take him down. Looking from across the field now. You'll see this play all the way through. Little throwback screen. Drops it over the head of the defenders. Byers realizes there's no chance for the first down on this side. He goes all the way back. But look at him running sideways. Timmy Green can take him down there because he has no forward momentum.
A gain of just 2, so it's 3rd and 19. And Tom Zach gets it away in desperation. And that'll just get it back to where this series began when they recovered the fumble at the 33.
Dick, on that last play, SC had 5 defensive backs and 5 linebackers in the game. 1 defensive lineman. They call that their speed defense. They were able to control the long yardage situation, and they'll force the kick.
Woolridge with the reception, but good only for enough yardage to get it back where the series started after the penalty drove back the Buckeyes. Actually, it's 3rd, now 4th and 9 is Tupa to kick toward Haynes. Haynes back at the USC 25.
He's had 2 very poor kicks. Let's see if he can put his leg into this one. That's better.
Haynes drifting back, 18-yard line. And down at the 20. Good coverage by the Buckeyes. They've done that all season long. Pepper Johnson, 98, among those bringing Haynes down along with 7 Sonny Gordon.
Well, it's a 48-yarder. He's had a couple of short ones, but he puts the foot to this one, gets it high and deep, allows his coverage team down to underneath it. They put it down 48 yards, very shallow return.
5:48 remaining in the first half.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
You've put in a long, hard, tough day. So you deserve to end the day in style. The 1985 Toyota SR5 Sport Truck, sporting a new electronically fuel-injected engine that makes it the most powerful truck in its class, without sacrificing an ounce of style or comfort. The Toyota Sport Truck.
Isn't it a good-looking brute?
What a feeling, Toyota.
January's champions take to the greens. Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and defending champion John Mahaffey, plus President Ford and celebrities from television and motion pictures. All at the Bob Hope Classic. January's champions are on NBC Sports.
Oh, and what a month of January we have for you on NBC Sports. And, of course, the classic Bob Hope from the desert. We hope you'll be with us. We understand Jack Nicklaus will be involved. Of course, Arnie Palmer and all the favorites. That's the weekend of the 12th and 13th, 4:30 Eastern Time. We've got great tennis for you next weekend. McEnroe and Connors. We have the playoffs next Sunday in Miami. And unfortunately, apparently, a rather serious injury. It appears to be Martin French, 42. Reserve cornerback. being assisted very carefully, and this may not be so serious, but the precautions, unlike even when you were playing, Merlin, they'd just drag you off, wouldn't they?
Well, they sure used to be a little more careless about that, and I'm really pleased to see trainers and doctors taking better care of the athletes who are injured. No sense in having a serious injury when an athlete can be protected in that way. Ken Rutgers, big 77 up on the line.
Senior for Bakersfield, and he'll always be on the strong side of the line. Crutcher. Seeing a good balance of Crutcher. He just was staggering all the way and picks up what appears to be close to a first down, about 8 yards. What is the use of Rutgers?
Rutgers on this play is cutting off on the backside. That's Dave Crecelius right there, 97. Rutgers' job to keep him from getting down the line. He's just like a picket line. He wants to keep those back people away in case the back Crutcher wants to cut back against the grain. There'll be room there.
2nd and 2. Cola, who comes galloping through for a first down at the 35-yard line. Spielman made the tackle. Also Johnson on the play.
SC will kind of lull you to sleep. They'll go outside again and again and again. Now right here, that's Rutgers on Crecelius again, and doing a good job of pushing him to the outside. I think Crecelius, anticipating the tailback to the outside, could not get back inside to even get a piece of Pola on that play.
Just under 5 minutes left in the half. USC with the ball and the lead, 10-3. Green to Ware. First down, Ohio State, 46. Spielman, the linebacker, drifting back to make the tackle. 18 more yards for SC.
When Earl Bruce left Terry White at home, he knew he was going to have some problems in that young secondary. You said it earlier, Dick. 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores back there. And right there, Timmy Green will show you why it's a problem for them. He's finding room in that secondary. And Timmy Green able to throw that pass very nicely into him on that play.
Other games today, UCLA and the Fiesta. You saw on NBC 39-37 over Miami, and Doug Flutie and Boston College defeated Houston 45-28 in the Cotton Bowl. Crutcher.
Ooh, look out.
Pretty good hole for Crutcher, and he's down to the 41-yard line. Gain of around 5 or 6. Giuliani trailing the play tripped him up. Reminder that later in today's Rose Bowl game, we'll select the outstanding player for each of these 2 teams. We shall make the announcement at the end of the game, and Toyota will donate a total of $1,000 to the school's general scholarship funds.
Dick, a young man on the defensive side who may be putting himself in contention is young Chris Spielman. He has 7 tackles already in this young game. And
that's the freshman.
He's got to be pumped up out there.
2nd down and 4 at the 41. Crutcher again to the 39-yard line, short of a first down.
And look who's at the bottom of that stack. Spielman, number 36, from his offside linebacking position, just shot over there behind that play and knocked Crutcher right off his feet.
6'2" and 223, the freshman from Massillon. How many great players and coaches have...
Well, Earl Bruce coached there himself for a while. Ted Tollner didn't.
He's been a West Coast man. Graduated from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Oops, mix up. Green throws it over the head of Cormier.
Well, that's the kind of inconsistency that Tollner's had to deal with this year from Green. He's hot and then he's cold.
And now we'll have to look at a punt situation, apparently. Tollner, it's an interesting story, and he's a very fortunate man. He was a member of that Cal Poly San Luis Obispo team back in 1960. A plane crash in Toledo. They'd played Bowling Green. 22 teammates died. He was right at the wing level. Everyone in front of him perished, and he and most everyone behind survived despite serious injuries. So the man has enjoyed every day of his life. He figures that that was something that would influence him every day. Too much time by USC.
You know, there's a personal footnote to that. We had flown in my college days the same plane with the same pilot 2 weeks before that air disaster. So that one is fairly close to home for me, too.
Delay of the game against the offense. Still 4th down.
So Troy Richardson will kick from 5 yards farther back, and Lanise will still stand at the 10 for Ohio State. 2:57 left, so the Buckeyes are going to get the ball with plenty of time to try to even the count. End over end. That'll probably go in the end zone. And does.
Almost a perfect kick, though. There were Trojan defenders down there. Had they been able to get their hands on it, they could have stopped it.
So 24 yards net on the punt for Richardson. And it's first down Ohio State at the Buckeye 20-yard line. They have stopped SC twice inside the 50, once on a fumble. And Southern California unable to maintain their drive on that last possession. Old A85 and Bob Costas in New York. I'm sure he'll have some of the key plays from the earlier games and a look ahead to tonight's action on the Orange Bowl, Oklahoma and Washington. Tomczak to Carter, and a first down at the 37-yard line. McDonald made the play.
You sense Earl Bruce. He says we're going to open it up a little bit. We have not been successful grinding on the ground, and he's telling them to hurry now. 2:40 on the clock left in this first half. They're in their 2-minute offense already.
Fake the Byers. Tomczak hit by Del Rio. Jack Del Rio, number 52, the senior from Haywood, California High School up in the Bay Area. Interesting heritage. He's 1/4 Spanish, 1/4 Italian, 1/4 Irish, and 1/4 Cherokee Indian. Put that all together and you've got an All-American.
Well, you saw the 55 sacks behind the line, or tackles behind the line. He added another one right there.
Quick toss and a completion to Ed Taggart, the tight end from Akron, his first reception. And he stops the clock as he steps out of bounds. 2:09 left in the half, and that appears to be close to another first down.
The SC defense runs almost no man-to-man coverage. Almost everything's zone. They just don't have the personnel. And when they blitz people out of that coverage, they'll leave zones open. If Ohio State can find those zones, they'll be able to take advantage of them.
10 yards on the play, but with a loss on the preceding effort by Tomczak, it's 3rd and a short 2. Byers has it. And more to the 45 of USC before Jerome Tyler could ride him down. 9 yards for Byers, and the Buckeyes were their most impressive drive since the opening possession.
Still in their 2-minute drill. They have not huddled. Tomczak, a good leader. Let's see what he can do here. He's gone.
Down he goes, and he fumbles, and USC has recovered.
Number 52, Jack Del Rio from the backside, from the blind side. And they're shooting those linebackers. They're not getting picked up. Tomczak taking a little extra time. Knocked down from the backside.
Colorado apparently fell on the loose ball. Here's Del Rio.
Del Rio just drilled it. The ball bouncing loose. Tomczak couldn't look back to see where it was. You'll see Colorado get a shot at it on the ground. There he is. You see him spot that football? He'll go right down and scoop it up.
Ball right at the 50-yard line. And it's Del Rio's second sack in that series that creates the fumble, and Green with 1:50 left. And his own scramble, and almost intercepted by Ohio State. Spielman again. He's always around the ball, as Fred Crutcher had to go off his fingertips.
Great speed. Spielman outside. That ball dangerously close to an interception. And that's one of the things that Ted Tollner did very well during the early part of this year, is to quiet down Timmy Green. He was not expected to play, and he's still a very excitable young man. Throws that pass quite well under pressure, but the ball bounces off the hands of Crutcher, and you saw Spielman just about pick it up off the grass.
SC in a single back pass formation. Throws back and incomplete. Tight end Mark Boyer, it appeared he was looking right into the sun as he tried to search that pass.
I think he lost his feet too, Dick. I think his feet went out from underneath him. That's certainly not the responsibility of the quarterback. Green gets that pass off, but has a little trouble after the play here. Chance to see it. Kumaro, number 14, coming from the outside, and 57, Dave Morrow. They're giving him a little work. Oh, he's a scrappy little cuss, I'll tell you.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's a talker, too. In fact, maybe a little bit too much late in the year, as he was bulletin board fodder for the opposition. He does not lack in confidence. Down the middle, and Norman can't hang on as that ball juggled through a couple of sets of hands, and the Buckeyes had a chance.
Almost intercepted, then almost caught, then almost intercepted again. Feel like you're right there as part of the action. Tim Green dropping back all on the left side this time, throws it right down over the center. First man there to bounce it up.
William White, 37.
Yeah, William White from the outside, a cornerback, actually. He was over quickly to get in on Hank. Look out.
Roy Richardson to punt. Lenise back at his 12. Lenise a fair catch at the 10-yard line. USC again with excellent coverage. Richardson's kicks have been very high, and the Trojans have been behind Lenise, ready to round the ball and down it. And this time he wisely elected the fair catch at the 11-yard line, and still plenty of time, 1:26. So in the hurry-up offense used by Earl Bruce in their last possession, you wonder why were they hurrying so much with all the time remaining. Actually, it's worked out because SC failing to pick up the first down, and so the Buckeyes still have a minute 26 to tie it up.
Interesting to see how much gambling goes on here on this play.
Zach knows that you better watch out for 52 Del Rio, and here comes Del Rio again. Myers wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. It's taking 3 and 4 tacklers at a time, but they have certainly put a lock on Byers since his long 50-yard run early. Rex Moore, key man on the last play. 2nd and 10. Hamzak. Intercepted by Tommy Haynes at the 25. So it'll be Southern California with a chance to add to the 10-3 lead.
Ohio State trying to exploit the secondary of the Trojans. They've been hurt by the pass over the year, but not on this play. Tommy Haynes, good reaction as he steps back inside, takes that ball out of the air, and he'll give the Trojans another opportunity to score.
58 seconds left in the half.
Did you ever notice that just when you think you see the whole picture, the picture changes? Technology from a company called TRW lets us look at our world in fresh ways.
Less than a minute remaining in the first half. USC leading 10-3. The only touchdown scored by Southern California came after a Neil Hope interception, and the Trojans went 45 yards in 8 plays. Green to Cormier, 3 yards for the touchdown. Now an interception by Haynes. USC has the ball inside the Buckeye 25. Fletcher. Driving inside the 20, a gain of 5. Clock is running.
SC has been averaging 6.3 yards per carry on those first down situations. Doing a powerful job moving the ball. They're close to that on that play. Almost exactly what their average is for the first half here.
USC has all 3 timeouts left, but are very casual about letting the clock run here. It's down to 30 seconds. With 25. Green throwing for Timmy Ware. Touchdown. Yards for number 19, Timmy Ware, and USC moves up 16-3.
Bob Tucker and his defense for Ohio State gambling. They came with the blitz. That puts the pressure man on man in the secondary. Earl Bruce, not a very happy man on the sideline. Down 16-3, a chance to see it go to 17-3 here.
4 touchdown passes all year. 11 games, 4 touchdown passes, 2 in the first half today. Steve Jordan adds the extra point. Yeah, what a thrill that must be. Ware had only one touchdown reception all year, but he's got one in the granddaddy.
Just blowing out into an open part of the field there. Nobody even around him. It appeared, Dick, that William White was covering up short and expecting help deep. The closest man is the Rover, I believe, on the other side coming over, and he's nowhere to be seen.
So Tim Green, the feisty little quarterback of the Trojans, has his second touchdown throw and a 17-3 lead with 22 seconds left.
And a day of hot and cold Tim Green certainly has had him hot at the right moments as he hits Timmy Ware for his second touchdown pass of the day.
Now, Green is in the game and played the latter part of the year because of the injury to Sean Salisbury. He was the top quarterback for the Trojans, but injured seriously in the second game of the year. Green was redshirting, and they needed his experience, so he came back, decided to use his final year of eligibility this year, and led his team, certainly underdogs to do that, into this Rose Bowl, and had a great first half. Jordan to Byers, and Byers hoping that would go out of the end zone to the 30, but it lands in the end zone, so the touchback at the 20-yard line. Many Rose Bowl thrills, and all the greats in football history, or many of them, have performed on this field. And back in 1973, it was Sam Bam Cunningham.
Davis running through 10. He's good. Anthony Davis does his picture dance on his knees.
Well, they said it'd be Sam Bam. I guess we'll show him another time, but his teammate Anthony Davis, he knew how to get into the end zone as well.
He did have the right uniform on.
Tomczak to Carter, and Carter out of bounds at the 43, and USC lucky 15 yards not tacked on. It looked to be a pretty high hit. 23 yards in the play. Jerome Tyler made the tackle.
We may get a penalty yet. Well, Carter may be hurt. Lanise over quickly to see what's wrong with his teammate. Trainer across the field.
So Carter hit hard as he went out of bounds, and looked like that was right around the pads or helmet. Reminder that following our Rose Bowl activity here in Pasadena, it'll be Oklahoma Sooners and the Washington Huskies from Miami's Orange Bowl. Completing our triple header of football action, and at halftime, Bob Costas will set the scene for you. A lot of mixed emotions around the country as to who is number one, and Doug Flutie, who's already led his Boston College Eagles to a victory in the Cotton Bowl. We'll see him on Saturday in Honolulu in the Hula Bowl. Tony DeGraat, the Lombardi Award winner for Texas, will also be in that one. And Merlin and I are headed for Miami, where the Pittsburgh Steelers will meet the Miami Dolphins for the right to go on to the Super Bowl in Palo Alto, California. Carter is okay, comes off under his own power.
Good news for Buckeye fans. He's an important cog, and they've got to be thinking about how they can get themselves back on that scoreboard.
15 seconds left. First down from their 43. Tomczak eluding the rush. Has an open man. Woolridge at the 41 of USC. 8 seconds left. The Buckeyes have only one timeout remaining. And they'll spend it right now. 15 yards on that play. Well, we were out here about 4 hours before the kickoff, and most of the folks were at the parade. A few straggled in the early morning, and bit by bit, the 100,000 plus filled this giant oval down in one of the little arroyos